One day, a farmer was looking for a water source for his farm when he bought a well from his neighbor. The neighbor, however, was cunning. The next day, as the farmer came to draw water from his well, the neighbor refused to let him take any water. When the farmer asked why, the neighbor replied, "I sold you the well, not the water," and walked away. Distraught, the farmer went to the emperor to ask for justice. He explained what had happened. The emperor called on Birbal, one of his 9 and wisest courtiers. Birbal proceeded to question the neighbor. "Why don't you let the farmer take water from the well? You did sell the well to the farmer." The neighbor replied, "Birbal, I did sell the well to the farmer, but not the water within it. He has no right to draw water from the well." Birbal said, "Look, since you sold the well, you have no right to keep the water in the farmer's well. Either you pay rent to the farmer or take it out immediately." Realizing that his scheme had failed, the neighbor apologized and went home. So what we learned today is that cheating will not get you anything. If you cheat, you'll pay soon enough.
There was a proud teak tree in the forest. He was tall and strong. There was a small herb next to the tree. The teak tree said, "I am very handsome and strong. No one can defeat me." Hearing this, the herb replied, "Dear friend, too much pride is harmful. Even the strong will fall one day." The teak ignored the herb's words. He continued to praise himself. A strong wind blew. The teak stood firmly. Even when it rained, the teak tree stood strong by spreading its leaves. And during these times, the herb bowed low. The teak tree made fun of the herb. One day, there was a storm in the forest. The herb bowed low. As usual, the teak tree did not want to bow. The storm kept growing stronger. The teak tree could no longer bear it. He felt his strength giving way. Teak tree tried his best to stand upright, but in the end, teak tree fell down. That was the end of the proud teak tree. When everything was calm again, the herb stood straight. Herb looked around. Herb saw that the proud teak tree had fallen. So what we learned today is that pride leads to downfall. Modesty brings true strength.
A rich old farmer, who felt that he had not many more days to live, called his sons to his bedside. "My sons," he said, "heed what I have to say to you. Do not on any account part with the estate that has belonged to our family for so many generations. Somewhere on it is hidden a rich treasure. I do not know the exact spot, but it is there, and you will surely find it. Spare no energy and leave no spot unturned in your search." The father died, and no sooner was he in his grave than the sons set to work digging with all their might, turning up every foot of ground with their spades, and going over the whole farm 2 or 3 times. No hidden gold did they find, but at harvest time, when they had settled their accounts and had pocketed a rich profit, far greater than that of any of their neighbors, they understood that the treasure their father had told them about was the wealth of a bountiful crop, and that in their industry had they found the treasure. So what we learned today is that industry is itself a treasure.
Nancy was an 8-year-old girl who had a habit of reading stories before going to bed. One night, she started reading a story about ghosts. The story was full of evil spirits and demons. Nancy grew very scared after reading the story. She could barely sleep, and she thought she saw a dark shadow on the wall moving all night. The next morning, Nancy had dark circles around her eyes. Her mother asked, "Didn't you sleep well last night, dear?" "A dark shadow kept moving in my room, Mom," Nancy said. The next night, her mother decided to find out what the dark shadow was. When they turned off the lights, Nancy and her mother saw that the shadow belonged to nothing but the tree across the street. The shadow of tree on wall of room moved whenever the tree swayed in the wind. "Silly girl," Nancy's mother said. "You were afraid for no reason at all. It's just the shadow of the tree." Nancy felt foolish that she had imagined so many things just because she had been reading ghost stories at night. So kids, what we learned today is that fear is often just in our head.
There was a thief who couldn't stop stealing things. He would steal anything that was lying around. He would even pick people's pockets if he saw something he liked. He had stolen little coins from children's piggy banks, dollars from shopkeepers' drawers, wallets from people's pockets, and even eggs from a hen's nest. One day, the thief was traveling by bus. Father George was traveling by the same bus. The thief was standing behind the priest when he noticed that a dollar bill was sticking out of Father George's pocket. He stealthily pulled it out, Father George was very alert and instantly looked around. He had caught the thief red-handed. The thief was very embarrassed and started to look around awkwardly. He thought that Father George would hand him over to the police. Instead, Father George said, "It's okay, son. Maybe you need it more than I do." Everyone was shocked to hear this. They thought that the father had let off the thief too easily. But the thief was very ashamed of his action. He never stole anything from anyone after that incident. So what we learned today is that sometimes forgiveness is the most effective punishment.
Our parents love us. As they love us, they do a lot for us. We also love our parents. But how can you tell them that you love them too? It was the birthday of Malcolm's mother. He wanted to give her the best gift. He took out all the money he had in his piggy bank. He went to the market. There, he first looked for a bangle box. But he did not buy it. He thought, I should give something better than this. Then, he looked for sunglasses. But he did not buy them as well. He wanted to buy something very special. He went from shop to shop, but he did not like any gift. At last, he came back home. He was very tired and sad. He thought, how shall I tell my mother that I love her very much? He had an idea. He sat down and made a greetings card saying, Mom, you are the best mother. I wanted to give you the best gift in the world, but I could not buy anything because all the gifts were not so good as you. Mother saw the card. She said that it was the best gift she had received. She hugged Malcolm and thanked him for the best card he made for her. So kids, what we learned today is that parents should be loved, honored, and respected throughout life. Caleb was a very selfish boy. He never shared his toys with anyone. His parents were worried as to how to teach him about kindness and sharing. Then, one day, Caleb was returning from school on his new bicycle. As Caleb was watching, a boy fell into a ditch and hurt himself. The boy cried, "Ah, I can't move my arm." Caleb would never help anyone, but that day he felt sad for the boy. So, he rushed to him and helped him stand up. He said to the boy, "Looks like you have fractured your hand. Sit behind me and I'll ride you to the hospital." Later that evening, the boy's parents visited Caleb and thanked him. "You are a very kind boy. God will always bless you." After they had left, Caleb's father said, "Son, see the blessings you receive by being kind and sharing." Caleb understood the importance of being kind and decides to share always.